see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. So, did you complete your practicals? I am done. Everyone? Yes, sir. Noah. Yes. Fantastic. So those who has some pending work, so please complete on time. And then, and how about this identity center? Exploring? You took that as optional, huh? Oh, did I wrote that optional there? Ah, my bad. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so all right, so let's jump on to the next very important service, which is EC2. So let's have some fun. So what is the full form of EC2? Elastic Compute Cloud. For sure, that is one certification question. Okay. So what do we do in EC2? We go and launch EC2 instances, or you can say that you can go and create virtual machines. Instead of calling virtual machines, it's better to call it as instances. So can we say that EC2 is a web service? Everything from AWS is a web service only. Everything from AWS is web service. So IAM we have used. It is through web only, no? Right? So here also AWS, this EC2 is a web service from AWS that provides resizable compute services in cloud. What is the meaning of resizable? Resizable. So can you go and launch 100 EC2 instances? Yes. Can you go and launch 1000 EC2 instances? Yes. And let's say all of a sudden you have, let's say you have 4 GB RAM. Can you increase it to 60 GB RAM? Yes. So it is resizable. How many ever you want. So you can go ahead and then create it. So I'll write in simple way that EC2 is a web service. EC2 is a web service from AWS that provides resizable compute services in the cloud. Simple. Here, resizable is the concept. So what's the meaning of resizable? So resizable, can we say that scale up, scale down? Can we do it? Scale up and then scale down, you can do it. Scale up, scale down, you can do it. And also you can do scale out and then scale in. So easily you can do. So now tell me, what is the scale up and scale down called? What is that? What? Scale up, scale down is called scalability. Scalability. And scale out and scaling called? Can I call it elasticity? Yes. So we can easily do, guys, we can easily do scale up, scale down, and we can easily do scale out and then scale in. Fantastic. Okay. Chiti, EC2 is regional or global? EC2 is regional. What should we call the servers here? EC2 instances you should call. Okay. So now, very good. We can go and launch our EC2 instance. That's fine. But let's talk very important thing, which is billing. Which is billing. So how does this billing work? How does this billing work? Let me give an example. So if you take, I usually take this example. I'll take the same example again. You know this guy, Pani Puri guy. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Huh? Okay. So just assume, just imagine and tell me how many different types of customers you have for that Pani Puri Bhaiya? So many, no? I'm not asking number of customers. I'm asking different types of customers. Auna, Nijama. Right? Okay. So, okay, Dai Puri, okay, whatever it is. Okay, let's not get water in your mouth. So, see. So, the thing is, if you go to the Pani Puri guy, there are definitely different types of customers. Let me give one example. Let's say, first customer number one. That customer will come. Let's say that customer will have, now it's nice, nice time, nice climate. Let's say he wanted to have a Pani Puri. He wanted to eat Pani Puri. Pani Puri here, guys, on top, we call it Golgappa, right? Golgappa. Okay. Those who don't know Pani Puri, Golgappa. Okay. So the first customer want to eat the Pani Puri. So what he'll do, he'll put some money in his pocket and then directly he go and he'll ask, Babu, Bhaiya. Bhaiya is the weapon that you call, right? Bhaiya. So, Bhaiya, how much? He'll say 20 rupees, eat it, pay it, and go. Yes or no? So, if you have a mood of eating Pani Puri, you go, eat it, pay it, and leave. That is one type of customer. Most of the people, we are into that scenario. Second type of customer is there. You might have seen him or seen him, not her, him only. That guy will not eat. He will be standing there only. And that Bhaiya come and ask, come. No, he said, finish them all. You finish them. So I don't want everyone to stay here. Let them leave, everyone. So he will wait until everyone leave that Pani Puri guy. And now that guy is alone. Why he's waiting? Why he's waiting? To bargain, correct? Yes or no? To bargain. So he'll say that, the customer will say that, Bhaiya, I'll come to you only. Daily I'll come to you only. Every day I'll come to you only. And see, there is also one more Pani Puri guy. I don't go there. I'll come to you only. I'll eat here only. Can you give me some discount? Yes or no? Right? So that Pani Puri guy will say that, oh, you want discount. So instead of 20 rupees, you want 15 rupees. So now, see here, now Pani Puri guy, how does he believe that customer will come to him daily? Correct? Yes or no? Now he will come and eat for 15 rupees and he leave. And how does the Pani Puri guy will trust or believe that customer will come daily to him or not? So how to make him come? Advance. What is that? Advance. So the Pani Puri guy, what he'll take? He'll take advance from that customer. Correct? So once he have given the advance, then he will give for the discount 15 rupees. And it is for sure that he'll come to here only because he gave the advance. Guys, so, and there are another thoda piyaz extra dalo, that kind of customers are also there. But free puri last one. Okay. So, let's leave all those things. So guys, a Pani Puri business guy has these many different types of customers. Just imagine. How about AWS? AWS is a very big customer, very big business guy. So there are so many different types of customers. One customer will come and say that, hey AWS, I want to launch EC2 instance. AWS will say, okay, boy, go ahead and launch the EC2 instance, pay for it. Good. And here in AWS, guys, in AWS, the payment is, the charge, the billing will happen on EC2 instances every hour. Every hour. So you can call it as hour or you can call it as R. R should be rolling. Okay. So yeah, the price is here is pay as you go. The price is pay as you go. Pay as you go meaning it's just like our electricity. Let's say you have AC is running, fan is running, correct? So if I switch off the fan, do we get the bill? No. How much time that you are using this, you need to pay for that time, correct? Electricity. Similarly, on AWS also, the billing will happen like that only. How much time you have used the services or how much time you have used the EC2 instances, those many hours you need to pay for the bill. So here, What is the price here? Price here is pay as you go. What is it, Nana? Pay as you go. Pay as you go or use and pay, whichever it is. So this is the model that AWS will follow. Pay as you go. And you need to pay every hour. Pay every hour. Okay, so when you go and launch, so what all we do? We go and launch the EC2 instance. Okay, and then the EC2 instance will be running. You can stop, you can start, you can reboot, you can terminate. What is terminate meaning? You tell me, when the EC2 instance in stop state, will it be bill or no bill? No bill. So when it is terminate, no bill. When it is running, bill. When it is running, it will be bill. So AWS will charge every 1 hour. Let's say, for example, I'll give one example here. So let's say you have used, because most of the people have this, you're generally afraid of the bill, correct? So whenever you went and launched the EC2 instance, a bill and you terminated it. You launch an EC2 instance and you have not used for even for 5 minutes, and then you have terminated it, thinking that like that is in old Amma Purush type, right? So and you launch an EC2 instance, you use it only for 5 minutes, and then you have terminated it. Again, you have launched and you use it for 5 minutes, again you terminated it. Tell me how much time that AWS will bill for this. Answer. No charge. Double urke rao. How much time? Some people are saying 10 minutes. Some people are saying 1 hour. 1 hour. Inta talent gona. Right? So guys, the answer is 2 hours. What is that? 2 hours. How? I'll tell you. So I told you AWS will charge every 1 hour. Remember, in olden days, I don't know now also, you go to internet cafe, no? How much is for half an hour? 30 rupees. So you went to the internet cafe and then you used only for 10 minutes and you are out. So will you give only 10 rupees? So you need to pay for 30 minutes. That means 30 rupees or how much ever it is. Right? Similarly here, doesn't matter if you are using for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 50 minutes, 59 minutes also, you need to pay for 1 hour. The 1 hour billing is mandatory or minimum. So now we have launched EC2 instance and used for 5 minutes, you terminated it. And how much it will be charged? For 1 hour. Again, you launch one more EC2 instance, you terminate it. Again, it will charge 1 hour. So total how many hours? 2 hours. So if you launch it, use it properly. Right? And then there are so many psycho people will be there. 59 minutes, they will terminate. Because, okay, now you tell me, 1 hour, 1 minute has happened. How much time AWS? 2 hours. Doesn't matter. 2 hours on. Right? So that is good. Now you are a little bit scared, sir. Do we get the bill when we are learning this? So guys, AWS is a very kind-hearted guy. AWS is giving 750 hours free. How many? Per month. How much it is? Per month. 750 hours free per month. Per month, how many hours are there generally? 720 only, no? But how come AWS is giving 750? So remember, guys, this 750 hours is not only for one EC2 instance. 750 hours is not only for one EC2 instance. 750 hours is for all EC2 instances. Let's say you have used, we have already discussed Till this time only we have discussed. Who is that? Nanda Kishore. 5 minutes stop. 5 minutes stop. Will I get for 1 hour or 2 hours? If you stop also, you terminate also, it is 2 hours. Okay. Now let's say, for example, you have launched 10 EC2 instances. How many? And you have used for 2 hours. How many hours bill? 20 hours. Simple, no? So this 20 hours will get calculated from that 750 hours. So 1 EC2 is equal to not 750 hours. It is how many EC2 instances that you are running, how many hours that you are using, that will be get deducted from 750. Now you tell me, will you go and then launch 10 EC2 instances and will be using 24 hours a day in this our course? When I start shouting, Babu, practicals, do practicals, then only you'll do for 1 or 2 hours daily and you'll close it. Right? If you take it 1 or 2 hours, how many hours per month? Let's say you work for 4 hours per day. And how many hours happen per month? Where is 120? Where is 750? So do you worry about the bill? How many times that you want to go and launch it. No issues. Right? But once we need to have a habit of you launch the EC2 instance, you do the work and then terminate it. Don't keep it running. It is of no use. Right? You complete the practical and then kill it. And then leave it. That's it. Don't stop it or don't keep it running. Okay, na? Good. You all understood, guys? So now in AWS also, there are so many different types of customers. So for that reason, AWS came up with something called, or if we stop, sir, if you stop, bill or no bill? No bill. But why I am suggesting you not to stop the machine is, you launch one EC2 instance and you stop it. Right click, stop. And again, right click, start. Right click, stop, right click, start. Are you learning anything here? How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. So you need to get habituated to launch an EC2 instance to select the multiple parameters there. For that reason, launch it, use it, terminate it. Again, launch it, use it, terminate it. Don't stop it. If you are a good expert in EC2, then you stop it and do until you are familiar with it. Let's go and terminate. Don't stop it. You will not. Babu, Akhil. I have my eyes. Okay. What is that question? Okay. I told you this or not. I don't know. I remember or not. When you're asking the question, it has to be very proper. Okay. The other side is your guru. Okay. You're learning from me, right? You are considering me as a guru? Or no, right? So I'm setting, so for your next career, it is very crucial, right? So when you're putting the message, put properly. Okay. If you're putting the question in capital letters, what does that mean? No, experienced people tell me. If you are having the message in capital letters, that represent shouting or rude. Right? Rude. So when you get an emails in capital letters, okay, let's say you get from your friend, you get the WhatsApp message in capital letters. What does it mean? It is shouting, right? And then, and also there is no salutation. That meaning, sir, or whenever you are sending any message or an email to someone without hi or hello, or hi sir, or hi Pradeep, or hi Venkat, whoever it is, without that, you are directly sending a message. What does it mean? Careless. So, because as you are now started your journey in your IT industry, so you have to learn little bit. So, and also when you're putting question mark 100 times, that meaning you are frustrated. Yes or no? Tomorrow, are you going for movie? And your friend said no. Movie question mark 100 times. What does that mean? Angry, disrespectful. So guys, so I'm not telling to that person only, but generally So when you're asking some question, it has to be very in a good and proper manner, so that I'm ready to take the question and answer. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. So I never did. Okay, let me ask this. Did I miss any question till now from any student? Never. I never miss any question. I take any simple question also, I'll take it and answer it. Okay, do not worry. Please have a proper communication. Okay, to answer that question. So if we say that, sir, if I stop the EC2 instance, the data is deleted. We have learned all the where is your data is stored. What is that hard disk called in AWS? Volumes. What? EBS volumes. All the data is stored in the EBS volumes. We are talking about the instance, and see that will slowly be discussed. Let's not jump. This is your EC2 instance, Chitty. And then this is your volume. EC2 instance is completely different. Volumes are completely different, because I told you volumes can be attached or it can be detached. All your data is stored, right? All the data is stored where? In the EBS volume. If you're stopping and starting this EC2 instance, is there anything wrong with this? Nothing will happen. Data will not be there. Data will be there. So no issues at all. But you have some other concept where data will be also lost, but you need to wait. Let's go slowly. We just started. Okay. So now let's come to the point. So we have something called AWS has something called pricing models in AWS. Let's see what are the pricing models we have in AWS. Pricing models in AWS. Okay, so as I said, the Pani Puri guy has different types of customers. So let's say in AWS also, we have different types of customers, and what are the price? Based on that, AWS came up with different types of pricing models to make the customers very comfortable. The first one is, in Pani Puri also, the first customer is there, no? If he has a demand, if he has a mood to eat Pani Puri, or if he has a demand that I want to go and eat Pani Puri, he eat, he pay and leave. Any discounts? Any commitments? Any advance? Here also in AWS, you go, launch the EC2 instance, use it, how many hours that you have used it, pay AWS and leave. So that pricing model, we call it as on-demand instances. What is it? On-demand instances. On-demand instances. On-demand instances. So, yes, for the whole account. So here, in this pricing model, we have fixed price. Yes or no? It has a fixed price, which is hourly. And then you need to pay for what you have used. Pay for what you have used. So you need to pay per hour. Okay. Are there any commitments here? No commitments. No commitments. Are there any advance? Here, instead of calling it as advance, you should little bit professionally, you should call it as upfront payment. What's that? Upfront. Instead of calling advance, call it as upfront. Because in US, they always call it as upfront payments. Upfront meaning advance. Are you paying any upfront payments here? No upfront payments. Now, yes, there is Amol. There is a billing calculator. We'll see. What does the commitment meaning here? Pradeep is asking. What is the commitment here? Commitment meaning, are we telling to AWS that, boss, AWS, this EC2 instance, I'll use it for next 6 months. Are you committing like this? I'll use it. Maybe I'll use it for 1 month. I'll use it for 2 months. I'll use it for 1 year. I'll use it for 5 years. Doesn't matter. Anytime I can go and kill it. That is on demand. Okay. And also, now I'm using 4 GB RAM. Later, can I increase this 4 GB to 8 GB? Because 4 GB is not sufficient. I got huge load and I increase it. Do I need to tell to AWS that, Babu, I am using only 4 GB? No need. So do we have any predictable usage here? No predictable usage. Here I call it as no predictable usage. Okay, ma? You understood what is on demand? So if you have a requirement, go ahead, use it, pay it. Now, we have another type of pricing model, which is called reserved instances. What is that? Say that, guys. Reserved instances. First one is on demand and second one is reserved instances. As the name clearly says, reserved. What is the meaning of reserve? Booking, correct? So here also, the second type of customer in Pani Puri, what he's doing? He's committing. He's committing that I'll be eating your Pani Puri for the next these many days. Similarly, here also, you are telling to AWS, and this customer came to AWS and say, hey, AWS, I want to launch EC2 instance. Go and launch. But I want to use it for longer time. Then AWS started thinking, oh, you want to use it for longer time. How do I believe you? Pay advance. Pay advance. And then this customer is saying, AWS, I'll be using your EC2 only. I'll be sticking with Azure, AWS only. I don't go to Azure, I don't go to anywhere. I'll be using AWS only. I'll be using EC2 instance only. For sure, my project is for 1 or 2 years. Definitely, I have the project. I'll be using you only. What is the benefit that you give if I'm using you for a longer period of time? Yes or no? So AWS said, okay, Babu, you pay me advance. I'll give you discount. You pay me advance, I'll give you discount. And you know how much AWS is giving if you're paying advance? How much AWS is giving the discount? 75%. How much? Or 72% exactly. How much percentage AWS is giving discount? 72%. So it's a huge discount, correct? So, but here in this case, you are doing long-term commitment? Yes, it is long-term commitment. And AWS will say, Babu, you need to commit at least 1 or 3 years. How many years commitment? 1 or 3 years. And you need to do upfront payment? Upfront payment. So either you can do the full payment or you can do the partial payment. And how much percentage discount you get? 72% discount on hourly price. Let's say, for example, you are using the EC2 instance, which you are paying 10 rupees per hour, for example. And if you reserve it, you are reserving this EC2 instance for next 1 year. Let's say you are using 2 GB RAM EC2 instance and you are paying 10 rupees per hour, for example. And you reserve it for 1 year. How many years you can reserve it? 1 year or 3 years. Either you reserve it for 1 year or 3 years. And you reserve it for 1 year. Okay. And then AWS is giving you how much? 72% discount. So approximately, instead of you paying 10 rupees per hour, how much you will be paying? 2.5 something you need to pay. Correct? See, this is the advantage of reserve instances. Okay. So this here, it is predictable usage or not predictable usage? Predictable only, no? You are predicting it and you are reserving the machine. You are reserving it. So here, predictable usage. So let me give an example now. So I have Bhargav. Bhargav joined my company. I'm the manager. And I said, Babu Bhargav, please check the bill. We are getting a huge bill on EC2 service. It's based on services only, no? So I said, like, Bhargav, we are getting a huge bill on EC2 service. So what Bhargav did? Bhargav logged into the account and he saw so many EC2 instances running. And the first question that he has asked me as a manager, he asked me that, sir, Since how long you're using these EC2 instances? I said more than a year. Okay. So are you sure this project will be for the next 1 year? For how long the project will be? I said for next 2 years, definitely I have the project and I'll be using it. Now tell me, they are using on-demand instances. Can he move this from on-demand to reserve? He can reserve all these EC2 instances because I'm sure that I'll be using for next 2 years. So I can reserve it for 1 year or I can reserve it for next 3 years also. I can go and reserve it. If you ask, what about 2 years? 1 year, after that again, 1 year you need to reserve it. If you reserve it, what will happen? You'll get a great discount. So if I'm paying $10,000 per month only for EC2, I'll be landing up only from $3,000 to $4,000 by reserving it. Understood? There is a question. Sir, now I have reserved. I paid $5,000 and I reserved it. I reserved the machine. And all of a sudden, I lost my project. How about the advance? Do they refund or not? So they don't refund. You need to sell these reserve instances to someone else in the marketplace. So but that's the reason why I said when you're planning it, you have to think and plan. So whenever you have that kind of mindset, like project is not stable, go with on demand until you get the proper. So no project will be like that. All of a sudden project will not close, no, because they will have at least a grace period will be there. Maybe 6 months, 1 year grace period will be there, and slowly they will be removing it off. All of a sudden tomorrow it will not close in real time. Okay. Even the company customer got bankrupted also. Slowly they start decommissioning, not all of a sudden. Okay. But in case it happened also, you need to sell these reserve instances to others. Okay. Is it clear? Reserve instances? There are two types of reserve instances, Anna. One is standard RI meaning reserve instances, and then convertible RI. Standard RI, convertible RI. Standard RI meaning your normal 72% discount, which have longer workloads. Convertible RI meaning where you'll be using for long workloads only with flexible instances. You get 62% discount in this case. So if you are breaking the deal with AWS, it is you need to go ahead and sell this. You can buy. See, guys, it is buying and selling. The reserve instance is like you'll go and buy something in second hand. No, outside cars you have. You go and buy. You purchase for let's say 15 lakhs, and all of a sudden you cannot bear it, and you have to sell. You will be selling where you have some market. You go and sell it. If someone want to buy again car, do we need to buy a new car? No, he will go directly there. Already cars will be there where I'll get it for cheaper price. So like this also you have. Yes, AWS will help you on this. Guys, how many types of reserve instances are there? 2 types. What are those? Standard RI and convertible RI. Convertible, standard RI meaning the normal is one standard RI. Convertible meaning, let's say now you have using only 4 GB RAM and you reserve it for 1 year. Later you got a requirement that 4 GB is not sufficient. You are increasing it to 8 GB. So if you have that kind of requirement that anytime the machine type, I should not use the word here now. So if you want to increase the capacity 4 GB to 8 GB, 8 to 16 based on the load. So if you want, so let's say you have reserved only 4 GB in 4 GB instance and you're using for 1 year. All of a sudden you got a requirement, this 4 GB is not sufficient. You need to increase to 8 GB. So this machine you have reserved, the new 8 GB got reserved? not reserved, correct? So if you use this convertible reserve instances, then you can convert from 4 GB to 8 GB. So you have that kind of requirement, then go with the convertible array. Otherwise, go with the standard. Clear? If we buy second-hand array, then why we'll pay any? No need to pay. No need to pay. You can buy it from there itself. Okay. So the next one here we call it as next model we call it as spot instances. What is that? Spot instances. Spot instances. Have you heard about bidding? Bidding, auctioning. Yes, sir. So assume you are all using 8 GB RAM EC2 instance. How much, Nana? 8 GB RAM EC2 instance. You tell me this 8 GB RAM you'll be using 8 GB RAM all the time, 24 hours? Definitely no. Sometimes you'll be using 2, 3, 5, sometime 8, sometime again back to 6, 5. So just imagine we are not using 8 GB continuously. So that RAM is getting wasted, no? Yes or no? Just imagine how many EC2 instances I will be having in my account. Just imagine how many customers are there to AWS and how many EC2 instances they are using. They are not utilizing this memory properly. So there are so much of capacity got unused. Yes or no? So much of capacity got unused. So on this also, AWS started thinking to have a business model. So there are so much of infra capacity, RAM, CPUs capacity are there, which is unused. So AWS will say that, Babu, do bidding. Come and do the bidding. AWS will say, so guys, let's say bidding meaning you have a nice donkey painting, for example. Remember donkey painting. So I'll say that, Babu, base price is 5,000 rupees. Base price is 5,000. And now Bhargav will come and do what is your bidding rate? 6,000. Tell me, Manish. 7,000. 10,000. So let's say some other guy will come and say 4,000. Is that possible? So minimum base price is 5,000. Next bidding price. 20,000. 21,000 online. Surya Narayan Murthy. Okato sari. Okay. So 26,000 Soumya. 30. Okay. So you started bidding like this. And all of a sudden, after you started bidding till 1 lakh, all of a sudden one talk, high heel sound will come. And that girl will buy for 5 lakhs rupees, that donkey painting. Right? So finally, that, the price, that donkey painting will be taken by that whom? Who is that? So I saw this in some movie. Okay. So, so guys, here also AWS has lots of unused capacity. So you can go and purchase, you can go and do the bidding for that unused capacity. Can I go and do the bidding? It's my wish, no? Let's say I want 100 GB RAM EC2 instance for 1 rupee. Can I go and do the bidding? Yes, you go and do it. If it is available, if there is no one else is bidding there, you will get that machine. But that bidding machine, you got it for 1 rupee, will be stay for you with forever. If someone is bidding more than you, EC2 instance will leave you and you will go to that person. So these spot instances will be forever with you. It will not be with you forever. You get it. So AWS will say, Babu, this is the base price. If it is, you are giving below the base price, you will not get the machine. If it is base price is 5,000, you are giving it 5,100 rupees or 5,010 rupees, then only you will get that machine. But if someone is bidding more than that, the same capacity, it will run away. And whatever the data you have stored, is it recommended to store data in that spot machines? let's say, for example, you have something start time, end time. I want to do some processing. I know that will be done within 30 minutes. If you know the start time and end time, go for the spot and you will get 90% discount. How much? You will get huge machine with a cheaper price. You will get it. You get your work done. Bus. Why you want to go to on demand? Why you want to go to reserve? There might be some calculations that will be happening very fastly. It's limited time, very fast. They do the calculation and they'll kill it. So for that kind of workloads, that kind of requirement, if you have, go for the spot. Spot instances is a very effective pricing model. You have it in AWS. If you have a requirement, use the spot, pay less, and go. Understood? So anywhere in your certification, if they talk about bidding or they talk about auctioning, then go for spot. So you will get a huge capacity for cheaper price. How much percentage discount you will get? 90% discount. Remember, the EC2 instance will be with you? No, can lose your EC2 instances. You have to design such a way that can lose EC2 instances. This is the most cost effective instances in AWS. So we can do the configuration, Shankar Rao. There is configuration called persistent one time. So if you go for persistent, they will hold it. Otherwise, by default, they don't hold. Is it clear, ma? Spot instances? Okay. So next pricing model, we have something called dedicated hosts. What is that? Say that, guys. Dedicated host. Okay. So those are low. Okay. What is the meaning of can lose EC2 instance? That's why I said the EC2 instance will not be permanent with you on the spot. So if it is not matching your bidding price, EC2 instance will not be with you. It will get terminated. There is question, sir, which is the best recommended model among this? Is it something called best recommended model? No, because if something is best recommended model, AWS will put only that model. They don't put, because based on your requirement, you can choose a model. For example, I'll give the real time. See here. Now in our course, which pricing model we should use? On demand, correct? We launch it, we use it, we kill it. So is it possible for you to choose the best model among this? No, it is your requirement. Okay, now I have a project. My project is for next 4 years. I'll be using the machines. Which model? Simple. And I want to do some calculations. I want to do some processing immediately with, I don't have that much great paisal with me, amount with me. So which one you'll go for it? Spot. Right? You understood now? Babu, sir, lost the session for few minutes in spot instances. What is can lose EC2 instances? Losing the EC2 instances or losing the session, both are same. If the EC2 instance is lost, your session will also be lost. Okay, coming to the dedicated. So we need to be a little bit. Remember, in the back end, we have host machines, no? In AWS. Yes or no, guys? Remember? What do you have in the bottom? Huh? What do you have in the bottom? Hardware. On top of it, what do you have on top of it? On host machines. What is the virtualization layer called? Hypervisor. So you'll have a hypervisor. Can I say this is the host machine? This is a host machine. This is the host machine. Okay. Now we have here, let's say, who is Bhargav? Yeah, Bhargav. So now, guys, Bhargav went and launched the EC2 instance. Where does it go? It go and sit here? Yes or no? Yes. It will go and sit here. It will go and sit here. Okay. And now Pradeep has went and launched the EC2 instance. Okay. And this will also go and sit over here. Yes or no? Okay. So tell me, Bhargav is another different customer. Pradeep is different customer. They both are sharing the host machine. That is default. That is default. So that meaning here we have something called tenancy. We call it as what? Tenancy. That meaning the hardware is shared. So here is the hardware is shared or not? Tenancy is shared. Tenancy is shared. So, and if they both can talk to each other? No. But in the backend, the host machine, who will handle all these things? AWS will. Do we need to worry about it? No. So we go and launch. I go and launch the EC2 instance. He will go and launch the EC2 instance. Everything in the backend, they might be sitting on the same host machine. Doesn't matter how it is. But in the backend, I'm saying. But remember, sometimes I'll be saying the backend things also so that you can understand well. So in the backend, the tenancy is shared by default. AWS is using shared tenancy. Now, I have another one. Who is another one? Name. Venkata. So let's say Venkat. Venkat, Dosha Love, change your name. Okay, Kirti is Dosha Love. Okay, so now Venkat has launched the EC2 instance, but this guy, Venkat, doesn't want to share the tenancy. Venkat need his own dedicated machine. Venkat need dedicated machine. So he don't want to have a tenancy as shared. The tenancy should be dedicated. So anyone else can go and launch an EC2 instance on that machine? No. If Venkat has chosen the tenancy as dedicated, then this physical machine, this host machine is completely for whom? For Venkat only. Can anyone can go and launch in his EC2 instance there? No one. It is dedicated for him. So here tenancy is dedicated. So this is, yes, exclusive for Venkat. So which one is costlier? Obviously, dedicated is costlier. Would you recommend to go for dedicated now? Never. Go with only shared tenancy. So when do you use this? Let's say banking companies, government companies, NASA, or some very confidential stuff. Will they like to share the tenancy? They'll go with the dedicated. So they are dedicating. That is nothing but physical machine only. No, they're getting the bloody physical machine for rent directly, so that he is going creating virtual machines. So here dedicated host meaning you book the entire physical machine. Correct? Yes, right. So book entire physical machine. So can you book 2, 3, 4 based on your requirement? And can you control the play where the EC2 instance should launch in which host? You can control. So you can say control instance placements. If we have multiple dedicated hosts, you can say that, hey, when you're launching the EC2, select which dedicated host that you want to have in the backend. Go and launch. Okay, now that is dedicated hosts. And now we have something called dedicated instances. Before one is dedicated host. Now this is dedicated instances. Guys, it is same, but the thing is here, no other customer will share the hardware, but you don't have control on placing the EC2 instances. Backend, who will take care? AWS will take care. AWS will say that, okay, Babu, your instances is dedicated for you. And the hardware is no one is shared. But is it possible for us to put EC2 instance, go this on this machine? EC2 instance, go that machine. EC2 instance, go this machine. Is it possible to control the placements? In which method you can control the placements? Dedicated host. But in dedicated instances, can you control the placements? No. But do you have the dedicated hardware? Yes. So dedicated instances, no other customer will share your hardware. So no control on instance placements. Clear? Okay. You're getting, guys, online, everyone? Is it CC till here? Non-IT? Okay, ma? Difference is the host machines, Sheshadri. If dedicated hardware, then what's the use of dedicated instances? So, okay, listen this carefully. So please repeat dedicated host and instance. Okay, what is dedicated host? Dedicated host is nothing but you are going purchasing the physical server directly. It is just like that. You're going and purchasing the physical server. You're ordering, booking the physical server. And can you go and create a virtual machine on your physical server? Yes, you can go in. Dedicated host. The host is only dedicated for you. Like this, can you have multiple hosts? And as a customer, you have 5 hosts in the backend. Now you are launching the EC2 instance. AWS will ask, no, Babu, you have 5 hosts. In which host you want to launch an EC2 instance? Can you control the placements? First host, second, third, fourth, fifth. You can go and select the host. That is dedicated machine for you. Dedicated host. Host meaning the backend host. And coming to dedicated instances. If you go for dedicated instances, do you need to worry about the host in the backend? AWS will guarantee, Babu, your instance is dedicated on dedicated hardware. But do you have the control that I need onto that host? I need into the second host. I need to the third host. Do you have the control on the placements? No. You just go and launch. AWS will guarantee you that you have a dedicated instance. No hardware is shared. So the price will be different completely. Okay. Host is nothing but physical hardware. Yes. Okay. Now, just imagine AWS since 2006 or 7, somewhere when started, millions of customers are there. Based on the millions of customers, AWS have these different types of pricing models. That's why you have so many. So the next pricing model we have here, capacity reservation. What is it? Say this, guys, capacity reservation, capacity reservation. Capacity reservation. Correct. Seshad. Correct. Prabhat. Correct. Okay. So capacity reservation. See, capacity reservation is nothing but we have availability zones. How many availability zones are there in Mumbai? 3. What are those? 1A, 1B, 1C. Now, I went and launched 50 EC2 instances at the same time. 50 EC2 instances at the same time. Let's say 4 GB RAM EC2 instance. All of a sudden, AWS will say that out of capacity. Out of capacity. So when you're going and launching 4 GB RAM, I'm just saying giving 4 GB RAM. Can you go and launch 32 GB RAM also? Any big machine you can go. If you're going and launching a big machines or any machine, huge machines like 20, 30, 50, 100. Guys, there might be a companies they'll be launching hundreds of machines in one time. So you have millions of customers accessing Mumbai 1 day availability zone. Let's say some customer has launched 1,000 machines at the same time. And some other customers are launching 2,000. Some other customer launching 5,000. And you are going and launching 50 EC2 instances. And is it mandated that AWS want to give the infrastructure all the time continuously? It is bloody physical things there. It is not somewhere abracadabra is doing. It's a bloody physical data center they have. So there might be a out of capacity issue will come sometimes. Because no infrastructure. AWS servers are done. In that case, if you have any project delivery or if you have any important thing, if you want to avoid this out of capacity things, you can go and reserve the capacity. You can go and reserve the capacity. You can say that, hey, AWS, I want this 32 GB RAM, this many, reserve it. So AWS will reserve it for you. You can go and launch anything. But AWS will not charge for that reservation. It will say that you are saying that, hey, please hold 50, this much capacity. AWS will hold. No, until you say it will hold. Does AWS will charge for this holding purpose? No. Until you use it, they don't charge. If you are using it, they'll charge. So that is called capacity reservation. Yeah, it is same like that reserve capacity only, but this one is little bit different. So reserve capacity in a specific availability zone for any duration. How much time? No commitment. There is no time there. Ashok Reddy. No expiry date. No time commitment required. There is question. If I reserve, I am not using. Doesn't matter. AWS will charge for it. So you have purchased the furniture and that sofa and you put it in your home. And you say that I am not sitting in my sofa. I don't pay you. No, right? So, okay. And the last we have it is here is savings plan. What is it, Nana? Savings plan. So this is a recent one. This is a recent one. But guys, it is same. It is same as reserve instances, but little bit different strategy. Little bit different strategy. Here also 1 or 3 years commitment. So 1 or 3 years commitment and commitment to the amount of usage, long workloads. And then you get discount based on long-term usage. And also lock to specific instance family region. Flexible across instance size, OS and tenants. So, sir, for dedicated instance case, already the host is dedicated and we need to just launch the EC2 instance, right? Correct. I already answered you, Sheshatri. So, you will be taking this dedicated host, let's say 1, 2, whichever, how much you want, and you go and launch the EC2 instance on the dedicated host. And no one will be launching the EC2 instance on your dedicated host. It is only for you. It is only for you. So guys, savings plans is same like reserve instance only, but you have good flexibility. So you will get a discount based on the long-term usage and lock to specific instance family. Instance family meaning I'll talk about the families now soon. And it is flexible across size. You can increase from 4 GB to 8 GB, no problem. But in reserve instances, it is a problem, no? You cannot change the like that. But here in savings plan, it is you can change the regions. You can, it's locked to specific region. In that region, you can change the multiple EC2 instances, sizes. You have a lot of flexibility in savings plan. But in reserve instances, it is like specific to something. But here in savings plan, you have lot of flexibility. In dedicated instance, our VM is fixed. Yes. Yes. Is it clear till here, everyone? Any questions? Okay. Quickly, because as I talked about family, we need to talk about the families here. Guys, we have something called here EC2 families. EC2 instance families or instance types. Guys, see here. Huh? What? Before slide. Huh? Okay. So guys, here. What is that I was talking about? Families. So we have different types of requirements, correct? We have different types of requirements. Let's say one person will come and say that I want to launch an EC2 instance. I need more power. Yes or no? And another customer will come and say, I want EC2 instance with more storage. And another customer will say, I want to launch an EC2 instance with more CPU processing. And another customer will come and say, hey, I'm using so much of graphics. I need a bigger, huge, powerful machine. So like this, you have different requirements will be there from different customers. So based on this, AWS came up with different set of instances. That way we call it as families, categories. You can call it as families also. You can call it as categories also. So we have different instance families like general instances, memory instances, CPU instances, storage instances, and GPU instances. I'm just listing few, but like this, you have so many categories today. Like this, you have so many categories. You can see that in billing, Vinod. Guys, see here. If you want to go and launch your normal EC2 instance for your normal workload or normal requirement, which family do you use? General instances. In general instances is a family. And if you have what? Can you please tell what is hypervisor? So Manoj, you need to see the starting days. What is hypervisor? It's a virtualization layer. Okay, virtualization layer. Okay. So let's say you have an application which you need more CPU because sometimes your applications is depend upon the CPU only, no? Some applications need more memory, like Java applications need more memory, and some applications need more CPUs. Some applications need more storage. So based on that, you need to select that categories. What does the family contains? Generally, we have our own families, correct? Our family contains what? Family members, correct? We have family members. Similarly, here in instance family also we have family members, and we should be calling it as instance types. What is that? Say 3 times, very important. Instance types, what? Instance types, what? Instance type is a very common word that we'll be using in EC2. What is that? Instance type. Okay, now this instance type will come with the combination of your CPU and memory. Chitti, you will be going and launching the EC2 instance, no? For that, we need to go ahead and select, we need to have how much CPU, how much memory we need to mention, no? If you're going and purchasing, laptop, what is the first thing that you see? How much CPU, how much memory and storage, right? But here, when you're launching the EC2 instance type come with a combination of CPU and memory. Let's say, for example, I am giving you different instance types. T2 is one of the family. T2 is like one family. T3 is one family. R is one family. M is one family. Like this, you have so many families in AWS. So let's say, for example, I don't want to take full names. Let's say I'm Ria Sheikh. Sheikh family. Correct? I'm giving an example. Sheikh. Okay. So I'm just saying. So how should I tell you the example? If I take Reddy or someone, it's a sorry talking about caste feelings and all. Why should I'll take my own thing? Okay. So like this, in my family also we have different type of members. Correct? Similarly, T2 is one family. So in T2 we have T2 Nano, T2 Micro. After Micro, T2 Small, T2 Medium, T2 dress size, T2 X large, T2 double X large. That means 2X large. Correct. So we have different types of instance types like this. I'm not joking. It is correct. But I don't have this much space. No, I'm just removing so many. So T2 Nano will come with the combination of 0.5 GB RAM plus 1 virtual CPU. Okay. So, and T2 Micro will come with the combination of 1 GB RAM and then 1 virtual CPU. So, T2 small, 2 GB RAM, 2 CPUs. T2 medium, 4 GB RAM, that's 2 CPUs. And T2 large, 8 GB RAM with 4 CPUs. Like this. Like this, AWS has different types of, what are these called, Nana? Instance types. What are these called? Instance types. The class might extend 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes maximum. Is that fine? Because we need to complete this paint and then we'll leave. Okay. Thank you. So what are those? See here, what are those? T2 Nano. So guys, in T2 family, we have T2 Nano, Micro, Small, Medium, XR. Similarly, in T3 also we have T3 Micro is there, T3 Small, Medium, Large, X Large, 2X Large, 4X Large. We have like this. So in different families, we have different instance types. Families, EC2 families has different instance types. Okay. Out of all these things, it's a predefined. Yes, these are all predefined. Akhil. Guys, out of all these things, in our course, which is the instance type that we should be using it? T2 Micro. What is that? T2 Micro will come under the free tier. Free tier. We have 1 year free tier, no? We have 750 hours free, no? So, which is the instance type that you should be using to launch the EC2 instance? Which one? T2 Micro. T2 Micro. If you Pusuk launch T2 Small, Medium or something else other than T2 Micro, you will get the bill. So, sugar patients, please be very careful. Please restrict to my instructions. So, please use only T2 Micro. Guys, in our course, we'll be using T2 Micro. Let's say you join some company. You join some other company. And your manager asks, hey, Bhargav, go and launch a T2 2X large machine. I need 16 GB RAM. And Bhargav will say, hey, hello, Khabardar, my Ria sir told only to launch T2 Micro. Don't ask me to launch T2 big machines. No, no, I will not launch. That's it. So it's not like that. Okay. As we should not be getting the bill, and we should be using free tier services. No, that's the reason why we go with the T2 micro. In real time, based on your requirement, you need to choose a machine. Here, if you want to go and purchase a laptop, you'll go and purchase a laptop, right? So it is your requirement. You want 2 GB, 4 GB, or how much amount you have, that much big laptop, you will get it. Simple. And you have, if you want to run big tools, and if you want to run some graphic related tools, 4 GB RAM laptop is sufficient. You need to go for the 16, 32 big laptops, and you need to pay big amount also there. So based on the requirement, you need to go and choose the machine. So the machine will come with the combination of CPU plus memory. Is it possible to separate the CPU and separate the memory? It is a combination. It is a combination. Question for you. Starting this question. How do you achieve elasticity in AWS? Using auto scaling. Fantastic. And we learned about elasticity, and there is something also called scalability. Elasticity can be achieved from auto scaling, we know. But did I told you scalability can be achieved how? I didn't told you this because that was not the right time. And now it is the right time. So let's talk about here, how do we achieve this? What is scalability first of all? Scalability, Nana? Scale out in up or down? Up, down. Okay. Scale up and then scale down. Okay. What is scale up and scale down is nothing but increasing the capacity of the server, decreasing the capacity of the server. Now, I'm using T2 micro, Nana. I'm using T2 micro. What is the capacity of T2 micro? 1 GB RAM, 1 CPU. Now I want to increase the capacity of my server. So that meaning is nothing but you have to change the instance type from T2 micro to T2 small or large, X large, whichever it is. So increasing, how do you increase the capacity of the EC2 instance? By changing the instance type. What is that? By changing the instance type. If I have T2 micro and if you want to increase the capacity of the server, change the instance type from T2 micro to T2 X large or whichever it is. You got this point? How do you achieve the scalability? By changing the instance type. Certification question and interview question also. Scalability can be achieved by changing the instance type. By changing the instance type. So anytime you can go and scale up. Anytime scale up. Anytime scale down. Okay. Now there is a question here. Whenever you're doing scale up, data is lost. No data lost. Scale down, data is lost. No data lost. When you are scaling up from T2 micro to T2 big machine, where is all your data is saved? In the volumes. I told you, this is the EC2 instance and this is the volume. Volume is completely different and EC2 is completely different. If you're changing the capacity of this EC2 instance up and down, is there any effect on the volume? No. So you scale up, you scale down. No. Doesn't matter. Data is still there. So data is lost if you scale up and down? No. And also, is it possible to scale up and down while EC2 is running? No, because that is a live. How we have heart? Can you do the heart operation without anesthesia? No, right? So for EC2 instance, mainly it is CPU memory. Can you do it on live? Can you increase the capacity live? No. What do you need to do? Stop the EC2 instance. So write down, very important certification question. You need to stop the EC2 instance to change the instance type. So can I say downtime required? Downtime required. Sir, in horizontal scaling, do they stop or terminate? Terminate, Amol. Terminate is a cost-effective way. So the reason for that is, Chitti, you have EC2 instance and you have volume. Is it cost-effective to stop the EC2 instance or terminate the EC2 instance? Terminate it. Because if you stop it, EC2 instance will be stopped. You don't get the charge on EC2 instance, but the data that you have in the volume will be charged. Size storage will be charged. For that reason, cost-effective is to terminate it. The question he's asking about horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling is nothing but which one? Elasticity. How do you achieve elasticity in AWS? Auto scaling. Auto scaling meaning scale out, scale in. Tap automatically increase the number of servers, decrease the number of servers. Increasing the number of servers, that meaning launching the EC2 instance. Decreasing the number of servers is stopping or terminating. What is the cost effective way here? Terminating, not stopping. Super. So if you change the instance type, data in the instance is not lost because data is stored in EBS volumes. Venkaramana, your basics you are forgetting, please. If you terminate, data is lost. If you terminate, data is lost. Obviously, terminate meaning killing it. If you terminate it, data is lost. Okay. No need, Ashok. Okay, ma? Okay, see here. Guys, in EC2, there are so many features will be there. Yes or no? Because AWS has to want to be number one in the market. So maximum features AWS is giving. Is it mandated that we need to use all the features while launching the EC2 instance? No. Based on the requirement, you need to enable and disable it. So like this, there is one feature which is not free, which is billable. But we should also discuss that billable option, right? We should not skip it. So we call it as burstable performance instances. What is that? Burstable performance instances. Small topic. If we use scalability, then we need to stop EC2. But this user may get affected. Yes, you need to plan for that. Akhil, HA you need to be implemented. High availability needs to be implemented. Okay. Today, let's say this is the EC2 instance. Guys, I'm giving one scenario. See, this is the EC2 instance. And I have some application inside it. Okay. And let's say I'm using T2 small. T2 small meaning how many CPUs that you have? Let's say 2 CPUs you have. Okay. Now you are using this. It is here. You are using this. And all of a sudden you got huge traffic on this machine. All of a sudden you got huge traffic. Once you got the huge traffic, how many CPUs are there? 2 CPUs are there. These 2 CPUs are sufficient? The 2 CPUs are sufficient? It will not be sufficient. What will happen in that case? The performance will be very bad. That meaning EC2 instance will perform very low. Let's say you are not there at that time. And for customer, it is a low latency or high latency you'll get. High latency you'll get. Correct? Because it is how many CPUs are there? Only 2 CPUs are there. And these 2 CPUs are sufficient? Not sufficient. In the runtime, I'm saying in the runtime, when customers are using the EC2 instance and you are not there in the night, and the machine get overloaded, 2 CPUs got exhausted, that meaning got consumed. And in that case, obviously your application will be down. To solve this, either you go and increase the capacity of the server from 2 GB to 8 GB, but is it possible in a runtime? Not possible. You need to stop the machine. So in this case, application need additional CPUs, correct? Application need additional CPUs. AWS is giving this option called burstable performance instances. That meaning AWS will give you CPU credits. AWS will give CPU as credits. Appu. AWS will give CPU as credits. Additional CPUs AWS will give. Do we need to worry on that? AWS will. You need to just enable this option. Which option? Burstable performance instances, enable, disable, you need to do. If you enable it, in the backend, AWS, whenever the CPU got exhausted, additionally, AWS will be giving you the CPUs to the machine. This is in the runtime. If you're getting additional CPUs, will there be any downtime or will there be any performance impact? No. So like this, you can manage the application until you come back to the AWS console and then do your stuff. So AWS will give CPU credits. Let's say, for example, let's 6 CPU it will give. So you can say that, sir, why it is giving only 6? Why not 8 or 10? CPU credits depend upon the instance type. CPU credits are depend on the instance type. If you are using T2 small, it will give 6. If you are using T2 medium or large, it will give more. Chargeable. That's what I said. This is billable. This is billable. It's not free. So EC2 instance will enter into burstable mode and give high performance for limited period of time. Not all instances supports burstable. Only few instance types. Not all instance types. So I was talking about instance types. T2 is there, T3 is there, R is there. No. So let me quickly show you that screenshot. 1 second. Where is that? Abba. Downloads. I want to see that EC2 material. Okay. Anyways, no issues. So I'll show you in the lab. There will be so many instance types are there. So we no need to worry about, sir, do I need to remember T2, T3, R, M2, M1, M4? There are so many are there. Do we need to remember all these things? No needed. So based on the requirement, you just need to select it. Yes, it will get to. Okay, let me stop it here. Okay. So I could have put the screenshot here, but that's fine. Is it clear, guys? Any questions? There is a question. If possible, can you please start the class 9 p.m. sharp? 9 a.m. So I am ready. Are you ready? Right? If you are ready, then I'll start. Anyways, I'll start by 9:10 for sure, because now I waited because there's a rain is coming. So people are coming slowly. So, but remember, I'll try to start by 9:10. And once we are habituated with it, I'll try to decrease the time. Okay. And also this time extension, I took today 10 minutes extra. Not every time will happen like this, because based on the subject, I'll take it. Not required every day. Okay. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Bye. No practicals until we finish the EC2 theory. Okay.